What you look?
Money back, money back, money back. Can I get money back? Money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say fake, it's he said it's a. Them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me. And I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He make sure he put Cardi down. I just gonna look on my snap. I take a man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this guy in the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. That be late, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine. Jumping on my, that's why they call it trampoline. Back on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say babe, it's a, he said it's a. Them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum, always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you like the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. Baby, take it. Everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a. Them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways. Somebody call for the queen.
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me up by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat, no pneumonia, the rats on these hoes, I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture me. You got the picture me. Pacific ice, I'm an ocean. Ready for war like I'm Russian. Ladies should never the luggage. My diamonds, they tussling. My neck and my belly on.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. It's an Indian summer afternoon, perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's go. Run the ball after this.
On second down, Trubisky. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Trubisky will throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for the Bears on 3rd. 43 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And a short return to the 6-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10. A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On second down, here's Rosen. And he whips that one incomplete there. They were looking for Johnson that time, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Used to have a coach who used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Rosen. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Throwing again, it's Rosen. Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. A good pickup there, a 22. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it. Throws it. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he's got the 1st before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it. But in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. They go back to the ground with Johnson. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That goes for a gain of 31. On 1st down, it's Rosen. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Leopard! Detroit! Detroit!
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. The quick slant caught. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They're going to go for it now, 4th and 2. Remember, they can still get the first down at the 1-yard line, though. 4th down. Here's Rosen. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cardinals are in for 6. Here's Phil Dawson now for the point after. No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. This is Howard on second down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Looking deep for Gabriel. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 22 and a 1st down. As David Johnson works his way back from the wrist injury, what are the hesitations, the cautions for him?
Well, number one, you want to make sure he's got full strength in the wrist because he's going to carry the football an awful lot, so ball security is important. And you definitely want to make sure there's flexibility there because he's been such a great pass catcher in the past. You want to make sure he gets back to being able to do that as well.
And Gresham has it left side. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Detroit!
They're going on 4th down. Rosen. This is caught. It's Decker. And they'll get this down to the 10. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Rosen on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Decker again the intended target, and now it's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here, back to the 2. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Now this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it? if you go for it on 4th down.
They go for it on 4th and goal, but that winds up incomplete. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11.
When you talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive, that run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
Yeah, started at their 2. Now they've got a heavy amount of breathing room. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he is going to have the first down as he's up to his own 13-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. On 1st down, Trubisky. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing here, Trubisky. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here to 32. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Detroit!
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On 2nd down, Rosen. He's airing it out for Williams. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. In for the score. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. On third down, this is Howard. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Let's go.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Rosen. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Rosen. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Final play of the half here. It's Rosen. Dancing to his left. And this is incomplete. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They go to Johnson again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Cardinals on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Rosen. He'll have a first down past the 40. And Gresham's got it over the middle. They get 14 yards there at a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call it?
And he'll be grabbed from behind and slung down like a rag doll. Danny Trevathan. In from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. Now Rosen to throw on second down. Going deep now for Decker. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Detroit!
3rd and long here for Rosen. He's going to fire one deep. Middle. He's got a man. Complete. Give him 30 yards there.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Again, it's Johnson. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Rosen. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Let's go, let's go.
They go with Howard again. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Howard. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Trubisky will throw. Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose, and the Cardinals have got it going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. So the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd down and 12. And now it's Rosen looking. And he's got Gresham. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
If post pattern is often equated as a change-up route, how about when you throw it to your big guy down the center of the field? Covered or not, you have great confidence he's going to come down with the football. And when he does, as we just saw, long gains often result.
The rookie Rosen has the Cards on the move. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Rosen to throw. Looking deep downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 11.
Leopard! Leopard!
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Rosen. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now Rosen looking to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Now Rosen. This will complete to Gresham. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding.
And that'll be caught by Gresham for a Cardinal touchdown. Jermaine Gresham, his 1st touchdown of the new season. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Rosen will throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Onto the field now come the Bears. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Taylor Gabriel, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears cut into that lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. His throw incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. On 3rd down, Rosen. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Now Trubisky on first down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marcus Golden. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way.
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Dawson tacks on the point after. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action.
It's caught inside the 25. A huge play there for Chicago. 57 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Here's Trubisky to throw. And he's got his tight end Miller. Touchdown Bears. Zach Miller, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears get a bit closer. Parkey adds the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10.
No, check, Patriot!
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta have the lead against...
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
To Decker over the middle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And Rosen's actually going to throw it here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
All right, now, lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now it's the backup Bradford, and he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Working out of the gun, Bradford. And able to find Kirk complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
Here we go, Monday.
Bradford, wow, he's going to throw. That is caught at the 7. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Jermaine Gresham with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Completion left side to Miller. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A big loss there of 9 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Throw here's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 28. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing here, Bradford. It's caught. Decker. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. Third and short yardage, Bradford. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.